David, yes, the David we all know from 90 Day Fiance, David and Andy, he got into a huge, random, bizarre, strange fight with guess who? Yes, Andrew, the Andrew from Andrew and Amir from this season of 90 Day Fiance, and you guys would not believe what is going on, so let's not waste any time and jump right on into this one. This is the most bizarre drama. A few months ago, David and Andy did a cameo basically for Amira, but it was ordered by someone else, but it was sent to Amira, I guess, and it was after she got detained and deported from Mexico. David, basically being the nice guy he is, just said, hey, we're sorry, we feel bad for you, and he kind of puts a little bit of blame, not a lot by any means, but he put a little bit of blame on Andrew, saying that, you know what, Andrew, he can't judge him, but he was kind of saying to Andrew, you know, I've made bad mistakes, everyone makes bad mistakes, and he was basically implying that what you did in Mexico by just hanging out and drinking pina coladas and having a good old time while your fiance was getting detained and deported, that was not cool and that was a mistake. Now, obviously, we all know Andrew claims that was the complete opposite of what actually went down. He was acting like he was working and trying to find a translator and all this stuff, but David, that's what he had to say. It was nothing bad, and he even did end the cameo saying, you know what, I can't judge you, that's just kind of my 2 cents. Amira, keep your head up, and that was basically it. Now, that cameo was posted about a month or 2 ago, and sometime after that, Andrew, I believe, got word, and he shared just a smidge of something on social media, on his Instagram, saying, I don't know exactly, but he supposedly said something kind of offensive, calling David like a Ninja Turtle Batman. It was nothing too specific, but then what ended up happening was after that went down, and Andrew made some kind of negative comments about David because of that cameo, David shared his thoughts on Facebook. He said this, saying, he threatened me, and I have no clue why, but in my opinion, he is trying to make himself relevant. In my opinion, he is a wannabe, so he tries to pick a fight with a 52-year-old man. He is in love with himself and treats women as objects. I am sorry, it goes against everything I believe in. With that being said, best of luck to him being Andrew. So, if you guys thought that was all the drama, no, because after he posted that, basically calling him, not even basically, he called the guy a wannabe and said he's just doing everything to stay relevant and to get some attention. Once Andrew heard that, he was doing a Q&A on Instagram because he is somewhere on a vacation. I have no idea where. I really don't even care, to be completely honest with you guys, but he is somewhere. He did a Q&A, and a bunch of people asked him if you could be in like an MMA match with someone, go, head to head with someone, who would it be if it is in the 90 Day Fiance world? And of course, who does he say? Now, Andrew does not say David. He just says, I want the Ninja Turtle Batman looking guy, which he is 100% without a doubt referring to David. And he's saying that he would totally love to this and that and get into a match with him and all this stuff, and he goes on and on and on. And Andrew did not just post that one story. He posted several stories talking about David and calling him this Ninja Turtle Batman guy, and honestly being incredibly rude, saying that he wanted to literally fight the guy. So that was not cool. That was really rude, and David did surprisingly actually respond. He ended up going on social media and sharing that right there, a picture of Annie, saying, what a past few days on social media. This is why I wake up every day so happy and blessed. I am married to the most incredible woman on the planet. She doesn't judge my past but loves in the present. That doesn't make any sense, and works together with me to build a better future. She is my queen, and I love her. We are both so humbled by the outpouring of love and support of each other and every one of you. We love you all. So David, he didn't, I guess, I don't know. He obviously was pretty upset to call the guy a wannabe, and every other word he did call him, because that, I don't think he was happy. David is a class act kind of a guy, so I could see him trying to kind of just smooth it over with Andrew and not make a big drama, because I don't think he likes drama, but you can see he is not a fan of him whatsoever. And Andrew, oh my God, he apparently cannot stand David. And if you are wondering, well, what is going on in Amira's head? I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys like her. Here's my take, and this is probably going to ruin my chance to ever interview Andrew or Amira. I feel like my chance of interviewing Amira is already kind of out the window, and Andrew, it's probably sitting on the windowsill. My chance of interviewing him is probably just about gone too. So I'll just say it. I think Andrew is freaking bizarre. That's all I'm going to say. very, 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 very odd person. He acts like freaking, what is that one guy's name? I'm actually going to Google this, one sec. Okay, Mr. Rogers, that is what that's who I'm thinking of. Andrew reminds me of that guy where he's real jolly and hey, we're all happy and jolly and he's always smiley and okay, this is fantastic. Then all of a sudden a freaking flip switches and the guy, blah, 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 whatever. A thing switches and the guy's like a totally different person. He says he wants to go into a cage match with David from 90 Day Fiance. So I think the guy is freaking just bizarre. I have no comment. This will probably never allow me to interview the guy, but yeah, I think he is very freaking strange. Kind of honestly, he kind of low-key, kind of somewhat sort of freaks me out, not gonna lie. The interview with his mom, that was kind of even, and I totally love and appreciate her coming on this channel, so I have nothing but love for that, but I think that mom has made comments that were totally uncalled for and rude and not cool, and she even made comments about Amira's anxiety attack, because that was her reasoning for not coming to America and going back to France, and it was like, like I said before, someone that has anxiety, when someone pokes and picks at you having anxiety, obviously it's an invisible thing. That really kind of bugged me. So I just honestly, I don't know. Andrew, his mom, the whole freaking thing, it seems bizarre. He just, yeah, I don't want to say he's like I don't know. I hate to bash too much, but yeah, it is freaking weird. And I just think the guy can come off kind of fake, and that is just it. That's all I'm going to say. And I will say too, those texts he sent to Amira, obviously, you guys already know. I'm not defending him whatsoever. That was incredibly rude, mean, and so if anyone thinks I am defending the guy just to get him on my channel, no, not really, but I'm not defending the guy at all. But anyway, Andrew, my whole point being was, what do I think about this whole situation? I don't like Andrew, and I don't like Amira. I don't like them equally. I don't like Andrew. I think Andrew has a freaking screw loose. Amira, oh my god, I don't like her for one reason. She is so desperately trying to become famous, and so is me and this guy and, this other guy and every other person. Everyone is trying to become famous. Not everyone, but a lot of people. The thing about Amira that bugs me so much is I feel like a lot of her actions on the show were just to get attention and just to be in this 90 Day Fiance universe world, and that right there just annoys me because I watch this show for real, true stuff. And I do think Andrew has a couple screws here and there and everywhere that are probably a hair bit loose, but yeah, Amira seemed kind of fake. And now what she's doing on social media is she's talking about how we're all one happy family, we're all this 90 Day Fiance family, and David, God bless him, and all this stuff. And it's like, Amira, she was doing that before the season aired. She was reaching out to people, and you guys are probably going to say, you are so annoying and stupid and nagging about nothing, and maybe that's the case, but it's like, oh my god, what the, it's like, you just came on this show, what family? These people like Angela and Darcy and David and Annie have been on this show from the start. They are actually kind of in this 90 Day Fiance family. Amira, you were just on this last season for like 5 episodes, so I get it. She's on the show. It just, something about me tells me that she just wanted to become famous so bad. And I feel like some of the stuff she was doing was kind of fake and just dramatic for the show. So I think they're both completely off their rocker, crazy, can't stand either of them. But Amira responded to David saying, woohoo, thank you so much for the love and support. And that was basically it. So Andrew, Amira, David, Annie, completely crazy, bizarre, random drama. And y'all, we ain't done because we gotta see 90 Day Fiance, The Freaking Single Life. And what did I tell you guys? I told y'all last week the show is gonna start getting good. And what do you guys think happened? The show is starting to get good. I'm not gonna waste any time. We gotta see Colt and Jess and Brian and Vanessa do a literal double date. And you're probably sitting there wondering, if you didn't already know, wait, why? Okay, they went on a double date because now Colt is trying to prove to Vanessa that he is an honest, good man, which that is clearly not the case, because if you don't already know, Colt did end up admitting that he was cheating on Jess the entire time with Vanessa. And you're probably wondering, okay, who in their right mind would ever get with Colt, aka Vanessa? But still, it's like, so he lied the whole time because he did specifically tell Jess he was never getting with her, they were just friends, there was nothing romantic, when actually that was the complete opposite, not the case. So he wanted to meet with Jess and apologize apologize, and because she just got married, he figured, hey, let's all four of us get together and we can kind of talk out and work out our differences, and me and Vanessa can apologize. And that's kind of somewhat sort of what they did. Except it was really freaking awkward, and so they got there. Colt was nervous. They had a little bit of small talk, very awkward, very nervous, and Colt, and not even Colt, actually Brian, Jess's husband, who I want to interview so bad. I'm gonna really try to interview him because I think that guy is kind of interesting. But he was the one that was like, okay, what is going on? You reached out to my wife, you guys used to date, you guys had this huge falling out, what is going on? Why'd you want to get together? And Colt said he wanted to apologize. He felt that he and Vanessa are being very rude, they wanted to apologize, and then he ended up admitting that he was actually with, Vanessa this whole entire time when they were together, and Jess actually got really freaking upset. Now, I get it, she just found out that she got cheated on a lot, but it is kind of like, I get why she's mad, totally, I totally understand it, but it is still like, you did remarry another guy, so if I was Jess, I'd probably say, you know what, forget you, Colt, you are a horrible person, and I'm remarried, I'm happy, I'm gonna live my own life, and just forget you. That's what I would have done. But Jess kind of got a little bit hysterically emotional, kind of somewhat, sort of. So that happened, and then Jess was kind of trying to chip in, then Colt was, then kind of Brian was. Then all of a sudden, I don't know how this happened, but Colt and Brian literally got into a verbal, like, screaming match. And I was like, oh my god, because this Brian guy is a quiet, he keeps to himself, he doesn't say much, he's a typical go-with-the-flow, casual, Michigander type guy. And him and Colt, let me tell you something, they got very, very, very verbal. And they don't bleep out anything on this, 90 Day Fiance Single Life so we got to hear a lot of interesting stuff. So that went down very, 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 very bizarre. And then basically Colt and Vanessa did apologize, whatever. Jess and Brian kind of took with it, but they were still like, you know what? These people are weird, they're bizarre. And that was kind of the end of it. And honestly, you guys, I feel like there's a chance that 90 Day Fiance just made Jess kind of get a little bit mad and vocal just for some drama on the show. But I have no idea, that's just how it kind of seemed at least. Then there was Ed. And if you can't tell by my emotionless face, I literally, for the life of me, I cannot stand this guy. This guy is a bottom of the barrel. He would be a rotten person to be friends with, to date, to have any association with, because he just seems so selfish. He's just so all about himself. He's trying to date this woman who is completely, number one, physically out of his league, and she's younger than his daughter. She's 28, the daughter's 30. He has no business dating her whatsoever, and honestly, she was just like his waitress slash bartender when we had this restaurant he'd go to. They were never like actually kind of even talking about dating. It was like Ed kind of asked her out, kind of, and it was just kind of almost like a friend kind of a date thing, but Ed made a move, and then of course she denied him, and then so after that, they ended up apologizing to each other, and now they're kind of trying to make it work again. But long story short, this is so painful for me to even talk about. Ed talked to this lady about inviting her to a wedding. She agreed to come. Number one, I don't know why. Then Ed went and talked to his brother, who is just as bizarre, if not even more bizarre, and just dumb as Ed. And the brother was like, listen, the only smart thing the brother said was, listen, he goes, if you are trying so hard to make this work, and it's just not working, that should be your sign that, okay, this is not going to work, and you need to move on. If a relationship is not working, if you're trying, it probably never will work, and it should not be this hard from the start, and therefore you should move on. And honestly, I kind of agree, because that just tells me she's just not that into you, and that's exactly what's going on. So Ed heard that, and he basically just said, look, I'm going to talk to her again, and then if we can't, I guess kind of smoothen things out, and if it still is going to be kind of awkward and slow, I'm just going to move on and say we can't even be friends and move on with my life. And for me, that was so dumb, because Ed was telling her, I love you as a friend, we have such an amazing friendship relationship, and I want to date you too. But it's like, well, you just told your freaking brother a complete opposite story, saying you were never going to talk to her ever again if you can't make this relationship work. So it is just ridiculous. But then we got to find out at the end of the episode that Ed, I guess, or actually no, this woman was out without friends, and she ended up meeting up with her like ex-husband, and then the one thing led to another, if you know where I'm going, and it sounds like she's actually going to be getting back with her ex-husband. And Ed, of course, being the typical idiot he is, he was completely devastated. And then real quick, we got to see Danielle. She's still on a girls trip. absolutely nothing has happened. She went on a date with a guy. The guy was like the most bizarre human being in the whole world. The guy friend-zoned her on the date. It was so awkward. Now there's nothing going on. I feel like her friends are trying to kind of spark some drama just for some attention on the TV show. Nothing is going on. They're talking about what's his name, Mohammed, and that is basically it. Nothing at all is going on. Then we got to see that other lady who I kind of think is freaking hilarious, and that would be Molly and her man, Kelly. Long story short with them, Kelly is leaving. Okay, Molly and Kelly meet up with 2 or 3 actually of Molly's really good friends. They start kind of quizzing him and grilling him, and this Kelly guy is very standoffish and weird and timid, and he's kind of nervous, and that just tells me one thing: he has some baggage that he is trying to hide. That's my only 2 cents that I'm going to say right then and there. He ends up leaving. That's that nothing else really goes down. And if I had to guess, I feel like Kelly and Molly will not be together much longer because I think I think he's hiding something. I don't know what, but I think he's hiding something. And the guy lives in New York, she lives in Georgia. Why would that even work to begin with? So that's my little 2-cent comment, but I could be wrong. And if you are wondering, what about Fernando? What about Brittany? We did not get to see them, sadly, boo-hoo. But it does look like in the next episode we are going to see a good amount of them. Well, guys, 90 Fiance Single Life, and David and Amira and Andrew and oh my Annie and everyone else. Oh, I'm exhausted of this crazy couple, Andrew and Amira. I'm done with them, honestly. I would love to have them both on this channel. Maybe one day that'll happen. I've already reached out to Amira. She read my message, didn't respond. And Andrew, he said he was down, but I feel like more and more he probably won't end up doing it. I could be wrong, but that's what my gut is telling me. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to hit the like button, hit the comments below, hit the subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.